Good morning, everybody. Leighton with Burris Optics. We're doing a live this morning to launch our new XTR Pro. Very proud of this optic. We're going to start with the base level was our XTR III, very successful optic line for us. We took off of that and added some very nice features. So it's still 34 millimeter main tube, 5.5 by 30 by 56 millimeter objective. But what we did was we went and did a major overhaul of the optics. So we started with the great optics design that we had, worked into some great ED glass, some AR coatings, as well as some very tight tolerances to improve, where we're now getting an incredible high quality contrast, image, deep depth field of view, and the color is amazing. So run into a couple of our quick features I'm sure everybody's been waiting on. So as you can see from the back, we have changed the knurling. We've gone to a hexagon knurling on it to make sure that it gets set apart. But as you can tell, the knob is considerably bigger. We have gone to a 12 mil single rotation knob, or 12 mils per rotation on the knob. And on the black knob, we went with nice big large numbers and nice big spacing, so you can dial to those numbers nice and quick. We've got some buttons here on the side. So one thing we'll point out on these is we have gone to a QD outer dial. So this dial, nice lightweight dial, easy to replace. Features with this one, it includes a race dial in the package. So if you are doing the competition PRS style position where you're 60 second, 90 second positions where you already know your distance, you can take the race dial, use it like your wet erase board, your dry erase board, put your targets on there, put a wind speed that you need, and when you go up to the line, you clamp this one on with your
button on each.
Got to line it up with zero.
You got to see the one on the back.
Yeah, right. You line that up with your data on it, and when the buzzer goes off, you now have your data right at your fingertips, right where you're going to be looking at the knob. So very cool feature. Underneath that, one of the really nice features is we went to a toolless ReZero. This function has this red cam bar. You loosen the cam bar up, and it lifts off. Very clean. This knob, the inner knob, for whatever reason, if you lost one of your exposed dials, forgot to put it on, this one has your mil markings to 12 mils on it as well. So very clean with this. Very nice tight cam lever. Don't need any tools to run this thing. And another additional feature on here is one thing we got back on our XTR III and our XTR II was some people like zero stop right on zero, and other people would like to have a few clicks past. So this little brass piece on here, you turn this one off, it's got a zero on it. Right now it's saying that the zero stop is on zero. If you take this off and turn it upside down, you can get 4/10 past. So putting this thing back together, you once you've zeroed the knob, you put the knob down, just push it down to zero, turn it to zero, close the cam bar, and now it's on. And this tool, no matter we've rotated the zero here, no matter where this is at, your knob can only go on one way. You line up zero, line up zero, push it down, and you've got your zero stop. So there's no real way to mix match this thing. In the XTR Pro, we've added 3 reticles this launch. So for the launch, it's going to be 5.5 to 30 by 56. And the 3 reticles are all going to be MIL reticles. We're doing the very popular SCR II, which is our grid style 2/10 MIL reticle. This year, thanks to the help of Mr. Trostel, been pushing on me for years, we added a 1/4 MIL SCR II. Basically, you're looking at this thing about 20% lighter, nice open grid, clean lines. And we moved also for the latest in the trimmer reticle. We now have the Tremor5 as an option. So nice rounding depending on what you like there. We have 3 options. Did not mention that all of these are illuminated with red and green on board. So unique to the XTR III, the non-illuminated version, we've added illuminations, runs off a single 1632 battery, and it's got the off positions. You've got 11 different settings with an off in between each. Those are positive off, so there's no battery drain. The nice feature about this is when you look through this setting, if you go to the very bottom, there's an IS for illumination switch, and it's spring-loaded. You push it up against the S as you look through the scope. It will go from red to green. Now all of your settings are in green. You switch it back over, it switches from green to red, and now we're red illumination. So very neat feature. That way, different low light situations, different hunting situations, whatever you may be in, sometimes the green, the red is more suited for you. The packaging does include a throw lever in it. So let's kind of go into what's included in the package. As we open this thing up, I'll pull out the scope. So the scope does have the race dial pre-installed. It's got flip-up covers that come in the box. Inside the packaging, we have the black dial. If you're not using the race dial, you want the nice, big, easy-to-read numbers with the nice gaps into it. We've got that dial. The throw lever is included in the packaging, and then a user guide and a battery to with the reticle subtensions and all there. Also includes a 3-inch sunshade. So very basic in the package. As we come over here, you can see this is today's shipment. We've got a bunch ready to go. So pending this launch, we will be pushing these things out the door, so you should be able to see them very soon. And along these lines, since we are here in Greeley, Colorado, where these things are made in the factory, we're going to roll in Hal Woo, our quality control manager, and he's going to do a quick run through of the facility where we're building these.
Yep.
So.
Hey everybody, like Sky said, we're live at the factory today, so we're hoping to give you kind of an insider's look into our operations here, so you can kind of get an understanding of how much we are doing in the XTR Pro here in-house in Greeley, Colorado. So, take a quick tour around. Okay, grab this. Excellent. All right, let's head out this way.
Yeah. Did forget to mention that tab does have our unconditional forever warranty. So, like all of our products, should anything happen, our fault or your fault, we're going to get it taken care of.
All right, so we're now on the factory floor. This is the main floor. This is where all of our CNC machine cells are located. We'll just step through a few of these one at a time, and I'll explain what components are kind of made where, and then we'll make our way back towards assembly. All right, come head this way. Our first stop here is kind of where we're making the internal core of the rifle scope. It's like our erecting system, and we're actually turning the components complete in this machine cell right here that's next to me. There's a lot of very precise components that locate our optical system are located right here. This is where they're being turned. We've got CNC lathes with live mill tooling built in. Not running a part right now, but this is where we're making our guide tubes. So the parts are getting turned out here on a daily basis. A lot of aluminum components. We send this stuff out for anodize. But this is the heart and soul of the rifle scope. Gets built right here in this machine cell. We'll keep stepping down the line. We've got some more CNC machines here that are producing some of our other smaller components. So like Sky talked about, we've got the dual illumination on XTR Pro, both red and green. And we also, of course, have our standard parallax adjustment knobs here. A lot of these components come off of these two machines right here. These kind of work in tandem to produce these parts complete. Those machines also produce other circular parts such as block rings and other small components that we have on the inside of the scope that support the optical system. The next machine cell right here is pretty exciting. This is where we're making the outer tube, or the main tube for the scope. At Burris, we're only using one-piece tubes. We've been doing that for many years. This is the rough material that we're taking a look at here in this rack. We're getting raw aluminum extrusions in. We feed them into this bar feeder right here. It goes into our lathe, and we run 3 operations on this raw material to get a finished outer tube. So right here we're looking at op 10 and op 20. This is where we're doing a lot of our turning operations. So all the circular features are all made complete here on these machines, including threads. And then we run back, and we've got a couple vertical mills that are making, or horizontal mills with a 4th axis that are making a lot of our milled features here on the outer tube as well. Of course, this oval track, that's where your bushings, your turret assemblies, your clicker knobs, they're all getting assembled there. PA controls, parallax adjustment controls are getting installed here. And then everything, your power ring, your IPAC assembly, that's all on this end of the scope. So that's all happening right here in-house, making raw parts, and that's what's going into your scope. And it happens right here. My department, quality, we've got our metrology lab, it's right over there in the corner, and we do a very, very high AQL on these XTR Pros to make sure that you're getting very, very, very high-end, precise components. So keep stepping through the process here. Of course, we're excited about the main tube, the outer tube, because it's holding everything of the rifle scope together. It's what your rings interface with. It is the skeleton of the rifle scope. In this cell right here, this is where a lot of our clicker components come from. I talked about our bushing assemblies, our turret assemblies, our clicker knobs. Guy talked about the knob improvements. A lot of these components come off of these machines right here. We've got about 4 machines in this cell that are producing those components. And as we step through the shop, we've got a couple more secondary operations for our erecting system components. They're very, very precisely machined parts. And of course, we've got our rapid prototyping area. So, yeah, that's our machine shop in a nutshell. Is there anything else you guys wanted to take a look at?
Should we just run them past the QA room real quick?
QC's over here in the corner. Yeah,
right.
We can go back there.
Yeah.
We'll
run them past it real quick, and then we'll give folks an opportunity to do some to ask some questions, and we'll just spend about 5 more minutes after we're done with this tour to maybe answer any questions that folks have.
All right. I think I can put that on in here. This is our metrology lab. So this is where all the components that are going into the rifle scope are being inspected. We're doing a lot of inspections here. It's not a CMM, but it is a touch probe smart scope OGP. And we are using a touch probe right now on this outer tube. This is an LPVO outer tube that we're making. It's not the XTR Pro. We're not running the XTR Pro outer tubes today. But you can see it's an automated program. We're measuring all of the machine components or features on this outer tube. And we've got a program that's built, and it'll generate a report and tell us which components are in spec, which components our features are out of spec. If we have out of spec features, we'll relay that right back out to the machine shop, and we'll make whatever offsets or adjustments we need to on the mills or the lathes to get those parts all within spec. And then we inspect these, quite a few of these per hour to make sure that the process is staying well centered. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Great.
Well, let's head back to where we started, and we'll see if folks have any questions they want to ask about the XTR Pro.
Thank you very much for
the
run through. So we'll take this time to answer any questions. I know that was a very hasty run through real quick, just to try to get the general information. I know we've had some of these scopes out in the wild now for a couple months. Hopefully some of you guys may have had a chance to see some. And as our ambassadors or pro shooters have given the go ahead now to start posting information, I expect to see lots on there. But if any of you guys have any questions right now, we'll take this opportunity to answer some of those.
So there's a question button down in the bottom. If you want to click that, you're going to enter a question. We've got 4 of them in there right now. 2 of them are about the same, and that's the first question everybody asks. What's the price?
Yeah. So we are looking at a MSRP just under $2,600, but your street price basically on the SCR and the SCR quarter mil, street price is going to be right about the 2100 mark, and the trimmer is going to be an additional $350 on top of that. So.
And another question that was asked by Mason Fisher: how far can you shoot accurately with a scope? And I'm guessing that's going to be a question of how much the drop is, but what's our mil drop or MOA drop in this one?
So we got just under 30 mils of total elevation in our 30 power scope. So if you've got your cant set up, obviously what are you shooting, where are you shooting, all that's going to depend on how far you can very effectively get. But with the high quality in glass, dealing with the mirage, the resolution and image, as long as you do your part, the scope's going to do its part.
Okay, and we asked about illumination already. Let's see here. I'm just running through the folks that have
on the illuminated reticles. I know one thing that came up in the pre-buzz for this launch was what parts are illuminated. Wish I had a reticle, but on the SCR and the SCR quarter mil, we're illuminating 2 mils to the left, 2 mils to the right, and 4 mils down. So what main reason behind that is, you put too much light in the scope, you can't see past the target, you don't illuminate enough, then you don't have the features of the reticle to be able to take the shot. So we went with a nice, clean, small amount to be illuminated, and with our 11 brightness settings, we got 3 daylight settings. The middle is for your low light nighttime settings, and then the bottom 2 are basically your night vision pitch dark type settings.
Are additional turrets available to purchase?
Yes. The race dial will be available. Do not have those out, and I wish I had the part number with me, but the race dial is available as accessories. So, if you're running a 10-stage match and you wanted to pre-write up all of your dials for all 10 stages, if your book was complete, you could have that done in advance. And as you go into your position, you pop them off, line the zero back up, and pop them on. So.
Just scrolling through comments, guys, seeing if there's questions. They did ask how much was actually built in Greeley.
Basically, we are building everything in Greeley except for the glass. We work with some very top-level lens suppliers to get our lenses, make sure that we hold the spec. That is a difficult spot, so we do source the glass. You probably have a couple screws that we would get from a supplier, as well as probably some of the O-rings and then the glue and what have you. But as far as a machine component, we're doing all that in Greeley, Colorado.
Yeah, and scope assembly too is happening right here in Greeley, Colorado. We didn't get a chance to walk through our clean room environment today, but these scopes are 100% assembled here in-house. And this is where we do the quality inspection for them too. And this is also the location where we handle a lot of our warranty and repairs and customer service. So it's all in this building.
And the engineering was done here as well.
The engineering,
the design
the engineering is done here too. Yeah, our engineering department's up in the front part of the building. The design work was all done in-house.
Let me scroll to the end here and just see if we've had any other last-minute questions that have come in. They're asking, will there be a 3 to 18 power model?
Right now, we wanted to make sure that we could focus on the more popular. We had the XTR III, the 5 to 30 was the most popular of that one. So to get our launch, keep everything rolling, we have the 5.5 to 30. We are keeping the XTR III, so the 3 to 18 is in that category. Does get some of these cool features as well on the new launch on it. But for the 2022 season, we're probably we're going to have the 5.5 to 30 by 56. So.
And what about parallax? What does the parallax go down to?
Parallax does go down to 20 yards to infinity. So it's on the side focus right here. We do have a 20 yards close, so it should be great for the rimfire guy. So we're infinity, and we turn all the way down here to 20. Very generous eye box. If you ask the guys who have used the XTR III or the new Pro, one of the things that they've really loved is the low side signature and the very forgiving eye box. So built for the race guys. Most of the input has come from our race guys as what needs to go in this scope. So designed around getting in an awkward position, getting behind this scope. This is a very forgiving scope to be behind, and with the improvements in glass and features, I think this is going to be an excellent option.
Speaking of glasses, it uses the same glass as the XTR III.
So we started with the same optical design as the XTR III, but we did make improvements into the overall grind, lens coatings, as well as a small rework in the objective on this one. So we're definitely getting a very premium performance out of this glass.
What's the weight on this optic?
In the stripped down version, it's 33 ounces. With the race dial, it's a 35 and a half.
Okay, and we've had a couple more people that have joined. Once again, what's the price on this one?
Retail
street price is
$2,100 retail.
And just so folks know, that includes both red and green illumination.
It does come inside the box, so you're getting both race dials, red and a green illumination. So it is switchable by the dial. Comes with the throw lever, and it does come with flip-up covers.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was asking no new reticle, but yes, actually there are. There is a new reticle.
The new reticles are the SCR 1/4 mil, and then we've added the Tremor5 into this section.
All right, guys, I think we're about ready to wrap it up here. We appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be posting this online. If you guys have any other questions, keep in tune with our social media. We'll be putting more posts up. We'll be doing more videos. We'll be basically putting content up for the rest of the week. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us.
Thank you guys for joining. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Hal. And watch for these scopes here shipping in the next couple weeks.